Yes, Mr. Chaskalson.
Chair, first of all, apologies for the delay, but we have found some supplementary documents, and the first of those is at page 365. That is the contact card that is the contact card of Mr. Malo, and it was attached to it's what was sent in chat number 2 on page 142.
Are those still to be shared? Because what we have runs up to 364.
Sorry, Chair, have you been given extra documents yet?
Not yet, no.
Oh, then this exercise has been. Then I'll come back to this once someone arrives with the documents. I apologize for that.
No problem.
Apparently they're being copied. There are a range of follow-up messages that are streaming in relation to grabbers, but we will. I don't think I'll try and deal with them on the fly. We'll get an expert to put a statement in, but everybody is telling me emphatically that no one may possess, use, sell anything in relation to no private person may do anything of that nature with a grabber. We'll pick up in due course in relation to the documents relating to Ms. Malo and also to Mr. Adams, Mr. Jacobs.
Sorry, do you want to find out if those are the documents?
They are indeed. So
yes.
Let's quickly distribute them. Have they been punched?
We now have 365 to 377.
That's correct, Chair. So if I can start with 365, that is the contact card that was sent on 4 May 2023 from Mr. Msibi to Mr. Nomalo.
And
at page 142.
Is it practical to flight these? Do you already have them in electronic format? In an electronic format?
We may be able to flight them. I just want to be careful that we don't flight anybody's phone number. Would it be, have you redacted?
IDs, please, Mr. Chaskalson.
And IDs in the win deed in the next document is a public document, but let's just see if it can be done.
Or you could move on to something else whilst this.
Yes, I'm not sure we have redacted copies.
Okay. Yeah.
So maybe
move on to something else.
I will do that.
Yes.
Still on the Aureleni connection, which we had got to. While the Camproc bid is pending, if we go to page 92, we see that at chat number 4, on 23 September 2023, and remember the bid was awarded in November and Mr. Msibi had identified it in April. On the 23rd of September, chat number 4, Mr. Motsumi sends a contact card to Mr. Msibi, and that contact card is at page 93. And again, just check that it's redacted. Okay. It's the contact card for Ms. Mashazi, who was then the city manager of Aureleni and who has appeared before this commission and whose connection with Mr. Msibi was previously unknown. Having received the contact card for Mr. Msibi, for Ms. Mashazi, Mr. Msibi then on the 25th of September called her. That's at page 26. And these are the chats between Mr. Msibi and Ms. Mashazi. And at the top of page 26, you'll see there was a call on the 25th of September at 12:53, to which Ms. Mashazi responded, "Thanks, Baba," at 12:59, and Mr. Msibi said, "Cool, Sesi," at 1 o'clock. Obviously, we don't know what that call was about. There is another issue where we were hoping to get some clarity from Mr. Numalo, which happened while this bid was pending. That is to be found at page 143. And you recall that at the top of page 143, well, near the top of chat number 3, there was the message from Mr. Ngumalo to Mr. Msibi. This one isn't a panel. Is it spoken for? I have 2 people asking, and then the front page of the tender. At chat number 6, there was another message that caught our eye, because Mr. Ngumalo writes to Mr. Msibi, "Euro banks closed at 4 p.m. We've locked the trade, so she will receive 46,256 euros and 98. I'm not sure whether it's cents or centimes that are the cents for the euro. Now that's just under R1 million. We did do the exchange rate there, and it was roughly 18 rands to the euro, so this came in at just under R1 million. And Mr. Msibi responded, "You're the best, my boy." We were curious as to who was getting this payment in euros, so we asked Mr. Ngumalo, and that question is at page 170.
170.
170. Where we asked for the full details of the person whom you refer to as she in your WhatsApp message to the late Mr. Msibi on 19 August 2023 at 10:26, when you stated Eurobanks closed at 4 p.m. We've locked the trade, so she will receive 46,256.98 first thing on Monday, which message also appears in the extract of WhatsApp chats between yourself and the late Mr. Msibi, which was attached to our notice. Unfortunately, if not unsurprisingly, Mr. Ngumalo couldn't help us. His answer was at page 177. Paragraph 21. The message referred to in paragraph 2.5 reads, Eurobanks closed at 4 p.m. We've locked the trade, so she will receive 46,256.98 first thing on Monday. It appears that item 6 of the extract dated 16 August 2023 and is likewise marked incoming. I have no recollection of this message, of the trade to which it refers, or of the person referred to as she. I'm accordingly unable to furnish the details sought in paragraph 2.5 or 2.6. At best, I simply recall that the late Mr. Msibi had dealings in foreign countries, the intricate details of which, however, I have no personal knowledge. Should the Commission be in possession of further material relating to this message, including any further portion of the chat extract, I request it be furnished to me, and I undertake to supplement this statement promptly upon receiving it. Well, we haven't written back to Mr. Nxumalo yet, but he's now seen what we know in relation to this trade, and maybe it might jog his memory. That is the end of the Aureleni connection. That takes us to the connection with Mr. Karim, who we heard from Mr. Matlala yesterday, was a visitor to the farm.
Mr. Chaskalson, before you leave the Aureleni, I think, to be fair, we do know that there's conversations between Mr. Msibi and Ms. Mashazi, and then there's this chat that refers to a she receiving money. We have not established that the she is her, because if we
not at all.
leave it as an Aureleni connection, it may create the impression that it refers to her. So just
Yeah, we were hoping Mr. Nxumalo would clarify that for us, but he can't. As things stand, we have no evidence. We will try to clarify that. We, in particular, will go to the Reserve Bank and see if they can trace details in relation to that trade. Moving then to Mr. Karim. We learned yesterday that he was a visitor to Mr. Msibi's farm. We didn't know about that previously. But what we do see is some connection between his joint venture through his company Ziggy Investments and a company Transnational Coaches on the one hand, and Mr. Msibi, and that a joint venture linked to Mr. Msibi is addressed in a series of chats that run from page 272 onwards. And we haven't been able to identify who the counterparty is. But the counterparty appears to be linked or to have contact with the Paruk family, P-A-R-U-K, who is the family that apparently controls Transnational Coaches, that was in a joint venture with Mr. Karim. And those chats evidence a number of things. The first is communications in relation to the status of the subsidized bus transportation contracts that were many years ago the sole preserve of PATCO. And if we start on these chats, we see the beginning of the chat is preoccupied with communications relating to what appears to be a bid involving Mr. Msibi for one of these subsidized contracts. So on page 273, starting at chat number 6, We see, good morning, Ndlonto, confirmed tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock Sandton City, and underneath that, the sender sends to Mr. Msibi a copy of the bid for, the new bid for one of these subsidized transport contracts, and the document itself that is attached is there at page 285, and what it is a series of tenders which are invited for the supply of quality road-based subsidized public transport services for Gauteng province, and there are 8 of these routes that are put out to tender, one in Soweto, one in Hammanskraal, Tembisa Tsakani Vosloorus is the 3rd, Soshanguve is the 4th, Mabopane Garankuwa, Sebokeng, Orange Farm, Lenasia, Attridge, Willem, Mamelodi, and 2, maybe 3 of those traverse areas which were previously under the control of, well, originally Bophuthatswana, then the Northwest, and in respect of which the Northwest Transport Parastatal, who will come to at a later stage, had been running these contracts on buses that were rented to it by the Ziggy Transnational Coaches joint venture. Then we see on the next page, 274, at the top of the page, Mr. Msibi sends a screenshot. Sorry, that's not at the top of the page. Let's take it one step at a time. There is a screenshot on 270, sorry, before we get to the screenshot, I'm sorry, I'm losing my notes here. At 274, the sender sends to Mr. Msibi requirements of what the subcontractor is going to need: CSD, BE level, operating license, routes that are given to the subcontractor with financial amounts, and percentage of the network sum contracted. Then in chat number 4.
Sorry, should we not be flighting this?
It's chat 2, page 274. Sorry. Okay. We may have again redaction problems, but they won't affect the next issue. So chat 2. These are the requirements that the sender forwards to Mr. Msibi: CSD, BE level, operating license, routes that will be given to the subcontractor with financial amounts, percentage of network subcontracted. Mr. Msibi then in chat number 4 sends back details of presumably the entity, his entity that's going to be the subcontractor, and that is Themi Style again, the company that we've seen previously. It is that particular image that he sends back appears at page 287. We then get a series of further exchanges, but the one that is of significance is that we get the sender sends a message. Well, first we get details. There is a letter at the foot of page 275 that is sent. Sorry. Apologies, Chair, my notes are out completely. It's actually at the top of 275 that the letter is sent. It's chat number 1. And that is a message from the State Attorney saying that the Minister is going to abide a dispute that is before court in relation to the existing contract, because PUTCO has taken the Minister to court over the decision to put the tender out afresh. And the Minister has decided to abide that. That letter we see at page 287.
That's,
Sorry, 288. And if we scroll further down, we see that the Minister of Transport has indicated in a written communique here to attach for ease of reference that he's withdrawn his concurrence to advertise the new tender. Our instructions are therefore that the tender and the evaluating of bids must be placed on hold. The Minister's also party to the proceedings. This is PUTCO's interdict. In the light of the above instruction, we will not file our counter application. Going back to 275, the counterparty says, "Good day, Ndlondlo. The decision of the Minister has now been officially implemented and has been made known to the public." We go over to the next page, and the name and yeah, we are redacted. On the 19th of February, the name of a member of the Paruk family with his ID number and his Mauritian phone number are forwarded to Mr. Msibi. And on the 21st of February, the judgment in the interdict is handed down, and PUTCO, that judgment is in the bundle at page, I think it's 289, from 289, and PUTCO is successful, sorry, 290. No? Sorry, 294, and PUTCO is successful. So PUTCO, if we go down to the order, we see that the state respondents are interdicted from taking any further action in the advancement of the impugned tender. So PUTCO manages to prevent new contracts being processed, and it remains the incumbent. We then see the emergence of the link to Mr. Karim and Ziggy Investments, because at the top of, and again, we don't fully understand the arrangements that are in place, but at the top of page 277, there is a payment. Proof of payment is sent to Mr. Msibi in chat 1. And that proof of payment at 313 is a payment of 700,000 rands from transnational coach lines to Santaco, the South African National Taxi Association. And if we go back to page 277, we see in chat 3 that the sender is saying, now I'm waiting for the 300,000. So the payment should have been $1 million, but it was 300,000 short. And the explanation that comes is furnished in chat number 5, where what is forwarded to Mr. Msibi is the document at page 314, which is that Northwest Transport Investments and Northwest Star, who are the Northwest bus companies who are using buses rented to by the joint venture between Transnational and Mr. Karim Ziggy Investments are in arrears. They're not paying the joint venture, and so the joint venture is short on paying Mr. Msibi. And if we read this...
Chaskalson, when you say paying Mr. Msibi, you mean
It's
Santaco?
Santaco. Although at a later stage, it may be Mr. Msibi. We'll get to the later payments. At a later stage, what we see is quite extraordinary. The joint venture claims in paragraph 3 that the Northwest companies are indebted to it in an amount of 335 million. So this is a huge amount that Mr. Karim's joint venture is owed, or allegedly owed, by the Northwest. This issue in relation to payments drags on. And so at 279, we see a screenshot at the top. And the screenshot is a chat between the sender, who we have not yet identified, and Mr. Suleiman Paruk, who is saved as Sol Paruk. And there, the account that is given, well, what the screenshot says is, Sol Msibi accountant is asking whether we paid his money, and now it's the accountant of Mr. Msibi is asking whether we, who is the sender, and Mr. Paruk have paid Mr. Msibi's money, and the address that is given is Tukofan Pty Limited.
Sorry, Mr. Chaskalson, maybe I missed it. You referred us to the screen grab, but you did not refer us to the pages.
Oh, sorry, 316. 316.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Please continue.
So that is an account is given for Tukofan Pty Limited, who must be paid. If we go to page 352, we see the win deed for Tukofan, and there we see that Tukofan was a company in respect of which Mr. Msibi himself was a director. But he is listed as deceased, and so he's no longer a director. But if we go down to page 353, we see that he was a director until 2024. So at the time of this correspondence, he was a director of Tukofan. We then see at page 279 that there's another payment notification shortly after that screenshot. So the screenshot was on the 1st of August, and on the 3rd of August, there is a screenshot of a payment notification. That payment is at page 317, and it reflects a payment of R1 million to Tukofan, which is Mr. Msibi's company. There is then an intersection of these chats with other chats that appear to be with Advocate Makosini Msibi, who was the CEO of the then he was then the CEO of the Road Traffic Management Corporation. And if we start at the 16th of August, at page 279, there is a video that is sent from the sender linked to the transnational Ziggy joint venture. That sender sends to Mr. Msibi at 9:14 p.m. a video of a crowd protesting. And if we can just play that video.
Mr. Chaskalson, you say this is with Mr. Makosini.
Not yet. That video will be forwarded to Mr. Makosini Msibi. This is a video that's sent to Mr. Jotham Msibi from the sender involved in transnational and Ziggy. Underneath the video, there is a chat number 5 on the 16th of August. Msobo said, I must phone you and send these videos. Now, if we go over to the chats with Advocate Makosini Nkosi.
So do we have any idea what this video is about, or is that going to be clear?
It's not entirely clear, but we think we think that we will, when we get to those chats, we'll get more clarity on it.
Okay, all right.
And you said Makosini Nkosi. You meant
Msibi.
Yes.
Sorry. Yes.
You took us to which page now? I'm sorry.
324.
324. Thank you.
And we see that on that same day, the 16th of August, 2022, from chat number 4, or chat number 5, there is a meeting between the two Msibis, Mr. Jotham Msibi and Advocate Makosini Msibi, at a restaurant in Sandton. And 4 days later, there is a message from Advocate Makosini Nkosi to Msibi, to Mr. Msibi, saying, morning, my dear, we'll wait for directives. Of concern is that our project indicates that she has the photo or visual that I sent to you was sent to her. That's why I want to avoid duplication. They picked up that everybody is there and threatened to charge for defeating the ends of justice. Can comrades retreat? This is under control, and we may put the investigating officer and prosecutor under pressure if everybody is all over. The issue of charging her has been taken care of. I have asked them to do so. They threatened one group with charging them with defeating the ends of justice that will affect me adversely. That's why I want to identify the blockage clearly, which will be clear by Monday afternoon. One should be mindful that the uncle is a police officer, and as many people can involve leakages, as many people are involved, leakages are unavoidable. And we may compromise the public prosecutor who has to close the case without any suspicions and close the aspect of possible charge of defeating the ends of justice and perjury as a way to intimidate the project. That's why I say leave it for now. It seems to me it's not clear which prosecutor will deal with it. The matter is with the provincial office. We don't know their program. They're the ones who got the withdrawal on Thursday, despite the claim by a number of people. They have their plan. Now, we haven't worked out what this is about, but it does seem that there is an attempt to interfere with prosecutions in relation to defeating the ends of justice here. And the very next message that Mr. Msibi sends to Advocate Msibi is Transnational Coachliner and Ziggy joint venture, which is sent, I mean, it's sent 2 weeks later on the 9th of September. But that is the message that his counterparty, that same message, has sent to him on the same day. So we see on the 9th of September, if we go back to 280, we see at the top of the page the counterparty who's been dealing with the contract, the transport contracts with Mr. Msibi and who has been forwarding proofs of payment to Mr. Msibi, sends that same one-line message with the misspelt Transnational Coach Lines and Ziggy joint venture on the 9th of September at 4 p.m. And Mr. Msibi forwards that to Advocate Makosini Msibi on page 326, almost immediately upon receiving it. We weren't ready to flight all of these exchanges yet because our investigations haven't actually got to the bottom of it, but there is definitely a connection to this joint venture with Mr. Msibi that we weren't aware of previously, and that prior to Mr. Matlala's arriving yesterday and saying that he saw Mr. Karim at Mr. Msibi's farm, we wouldn't have put the two together but for this connection.
So let's take a short adjournment. We'll indicate when we are ready. We are ready when you are.
Thank you, Chair. We now finally have our redacted annexures ready. We'd already dealt with the contact card have they survived? Have they survived the spill?
Commissioner Valo is wet. Now they've taken mine to make copies using mine.
Okay. Chair, maybe we can.
We are ready, thank you.
Thank you, Chair. There is, so we've dealt with the contact card. 366 is the wind deed report. And we'll see from 366 that Ms. Malo is one of the two directors of Camprock. And then from 371, there is a Mail and Guardian report which may have identified the Shane Adams as opposed to Sean Adams, who Jacobs, Shane Jacobs as opposed to Sean Jacobs. There was certainly a Shane Jacobs involved in a controversy relating to a security tender at Parliament. We can take it no further than there at the moment. The last issue that we will address is a series of chats between Mr. Msibi and a different Sean. And this is a Sean who was involved in what appears to be a dacha growing project of Mr. Msibi. And those chats start at page 222. And just to contextualize, this dacha growing project took place in factory premises in Germiston, and the company involved was called Jack Frost Pharmaceuticals. The chats which I would start with are at page 225, and there Sean writes to Mr. Msibi saying the following: "Afternoon, Chief. I know you're dealing with a lot and this is minor rubbish. But if you could get a chance, please send 2 of your guys to Germiston for me. I will meet them and point out who needs to be spoken to. My grow team is still getting watched. I can use my Congo guys, but I know your guys will create more fear in these people. Thanks, my brother." And so Sean seems to be saying he's worried that there are people snooping around his premises where he is growing his dacha, and he needs Mr. Msibi to send some people round essentially to scare them. Mr. Msibi says, "We'll deal with it, please, don't worry." We then, through the chats, get a sort of blow-by-blow account of the growth of the project. And so if we start at foot of 276, we see the beginnings of the growth in that little screenshot at the foot of page 276. The picture itself is at page 257.
267 maybe? You said 276.
Sorry. 226, 226. And the picture that is sent, you'll see in full at page 257. And then if we go back to 225 and just scroll down, what is happening is that each week Sean is sending updated photos so that the growth can be seen by Mr. Msibi. And it goes on, and the growth is quite spectacular. It reaches a point where Sean is able to send, I mean, if we go down to 233, for instance, and maybe if we look at the video at the top of page 236, which is 13th of March. Got those videos. Is that one first? And if we just keep scrolling, we see, well, we just see the growth of the project. My favorite is the next video that Sean sends, which is at on the 22nd of April. So can we play that one? Because it comes with musical accompaniment. Oh, no, sorry, I'm a little bit early. That's on page. Can we go to the next one? Not that one. Yeah. So we can see...
We definitely see why it's your favorite, Mr.
But the one cause for concern here is the document at page 268. And that is the license given to Jack Frost, and it's issued originally on 19th September 2022. So everything that we've looked at thus far is before this license was in effect. Now, it is possible that there was some other permit in place. We don't see it, and we are investigating whether that was the case. But what it seems like is that what we are looking at is production that took place before a license was issued, or certainly before this license was issued. We will be making inquiries to establish what the true state of affairs was. If it wasn't permitted, then this would be illegal cultivation of dacha, which would be a crime under the drugs, I forget what the Drugs Act is now called, those are the points that we are able to make at this point flowing from these chats. There are a number of issues that we need to follow up and clarify, both from what I've ventilated today and in relation to some material that I haven't ventilated today. We will do so as soon as we can, and if it's necessary to come back to any of these chats, we will do that. I apologize for the slightly haphazard nature of this presentation. It was sprung on us on quite short notice.
It actually flowed well, Mr. Chaskalson, and whatever misgivings you have are quite understandable under the circumstances, because this was last minute, and not originally scheduled. It's understandable.
Just one last thing, Mr. Chaskalson, on this last installment, these plans, the picture that you are presenting, or that it looks like, is that Mr. Msibi with others, Jotham Msibi with others, it appears they were involved in the production, unlawful production of dagga. I've been told it's not called dagga. Whenever I've used that word, I've been told it's weed. That they were involved in the production of this unlawfully. That's a picture.
Well, I don't want to say that categorically now, because there are. I have looked at the legislation, and it seems quite clear to me that one needs, this license purports to have been granted under, or not purports, has on its face been granted under section 22(1)(c) of the, 22(c)(1) of the Medicines and Related Substances Act. Now, there is a provision under section 19A that I don't think applies to manufacturers, and I think scale of this size is manufacturing scale, where you can get a permit which is not issued by the South African Health Products Regulatory Authority, but is issued by an official of the Department of Health. I think it's the Director General, which may conceivably authorize the growing of dagga. I mean, we need to clarify with Jack Frost whether they assert any legitimate rights before we say that this was unlawful production. But prima facie, this license certainly didn't authorize it.
Chaskalson, certainly not in respect of Mr. Ali and his crew, but other people who are mentioned in the chats, the same way we did with Mr. Ngumalo, maybe, and I don't want to put you on the spot and force you to give an answer now, but consideration be given to them to explain what we see in the chats, either in the form of an affidavit or a short statement, just so that we don't just have your interpretation of the chats, but we have their version of what the chats are about, and we get the full picture.
We will do that.
So we've come to the end of
we have,
what we have today. Thank you, Mr. Chaskalson. Let's adjourn and resume at 9:30 tomorrow morning. Let's adjourn.